Hello and welcome to Vanquish Studio, and today we are tackling a subject that many people have had trouble with. Hands. Okay, for this video we're going to break down, I'm going to do 4 different videos breaking down a different part of the hand. First is going to be construction, second is going to be anatomy, third is going to be foreshortening, and fourth, shading. So by the end of this series, you should be pretty good at drawing hands. Okay, if you look at the hand, you'll notice that the palm structure kind of resembles a wedge. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw the wedge shape. But we're not going to draw it directly straight across. We're actually going to draw a little bit of a curve. And when you're drawing the fingers, it really helps to think of them as a cylindrical shape. It really helps to think of your fingers as a cylindrical shape. So as the hand's up like this is a cylindrical shape, and as it turns forward, you will notice that it is very similar to a cylinder. So that is the basic form that we're going to choose, that we're going to go for, that we're going to make as our basic construction. Okay, so if you look at my examples here of a hand, you'll notice I got the fingers right here. This right here is the wedge shape that we're going to use, and then we're going to attach another wedge shape to it, which is where we're going to put the thumb. So that's exactly how that works. And if you look at this, you'll notice that the length between here and here is roughly the same. So the distance between here and this finger is roughly the same. Okay, so we're going to use that wedge shape. We're going to draw the hand using the wedge shape. So I'm just going to start off with this basic wedge shape. And then I'm going to remember that this hand and this is roughly the same length, the distance from the palm to the middle finger. So this distance to this distance. So that's what I'm going to use as a guideline. And I'm just going to make a little curve right here because I know that's where my fingers are going to be. And then I'm also going to remember that halfway up is my palm. So I'm going to put my little palm attachment here because there's an attachment. And now that I have my wedge shape, I can just go ahead and use my cylindrical shapes. So I'm just going to and this, okay, so I'm going to break this area up into 4 fingers, and this finger is going to come out this way, right, because I'm going to think of a cylindrical shape, right, because it's like a cylinder. A cylindrical shape, that's what we're trying to think of. So we're trying to add some volume to it. Now it's just the basic shape, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But this finger, I'm going to put right here. And remember that this finger, if you look at the measurements, comes just below. These 2 fingers are going to be about equal. This one's a little bit higher, and then this one comes right up to where the knuckle is. So that's pretty much what I'm going to use. So I'm going to make this finger down here like this, and put my cylindrical shape there. And then this finger, I'm going to have it moving off a little bit here because I think it looks cool that way. And here we go. And we have our fingers. Basically, a basic hand. I can go ahead and, of course, put a little bit more shape in there like that. And then, of course, you can add the anatomy to it later. But I'm like, that is the basic hand shape. Okay, so this part is just a little bit too far out for my liking, especially for the... So I'm going to come back in and I'm going to fix that because this part of the attachment of the hand is a little bit fleshier. Now, mind you, this is just the basic idea of a hand. It's just the basics. Afterwards, you can go back into it and, add more details to it. But that's in another video. That's going to be in the anatomy video. This one is just for getting the basic shape. know, so you can go ahead and go down here, and then you'll see that the hand is starting to shape up, and it looks like it looks like a hand. Okay, so for this next one, I'm going to show you. Now here's where you can think of the wedge, and you think of the wedge shape if you're using the hand in a different position, because this position, the hand is clearly facing the other way. So this is the palm. So if I were to have my attachment point, I would put my sphere right here. So that would be my thumb, and then I'm going to divide this up into 4 areas where the 4 fingers are going to come out. Now this first finger you can make as a section. The second finger you can also do as a section. And then there's a third finger, and I'm gonna make that. And currently it looks like the fingers are being cut off. Oh my goodness. No, I'm actually breaking it down into sections. So we have the first parts of the knuckles. Then you can make the second part of the knuckle. So you see how thinking in terms of a spherical shape, it helps. So here I'm going to do another spherical shape, and I did break my finger when I was younger, so we have this weird kind of like shape right here. But I'm just saying. Oh, it was. You know what though? It was on my other hand. Oh my goodness. Never mind. Okay. Now, when the hand is facing this way, you're gonna make convex. I think that's convex. And when it's facing this way, it's concave. But of course, that will be covered in other tutorials, so stay tuned. Okay, and then here, oop, well, let me fix that. And then this part would come out, and I would finish it by putting it. And actually, I kind of have the thumbnail right here. If you want to put a thumbnail on it, but I'm not going to do that because the thumb is facing the other way. Anyway, so here is the hand again, using the basic shapes, just using the cylindrical shape and the wedge shape. And then of course, you know, later on you can add, make it, add the lines and everything, and add the anatomy. But of course, that's in another tutorial. I am making a series of tutorials, and then you can fill this in. You got the webbing in between the hand. Anyway, you can get a pretty realistic looking hand by doing the basic shapes and just using the cylindrical shapes and the wedge shape, and break it down to its most basic shape. I really hope that this video helped you with drawing your hands and made things a little bit more clear. Stay tuned because the next video is going to be anatomy. And so, yeah, there are four videos in this series. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single one of them.